Hello guys, today we're gonna build a simple authentication application with Spring Boot and Spring Security. So let's dive into the code. I'm going to create with the extension Spring Initializer, create a Marble project, 3.5.5, Java, we're going to call it Spring Sec tutorial, main package, okay, Java version 17. Okay, so we need to set up some dependencies. So Lombok, we need to Spring Web, Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, Spring. What we need, so for the database we need H2 database, and I think we're done. Spring Boot DevTools. Okay, here we are. So first of all, we need to create our simple app user entity. That's our the model of how the users should be created. So going to the main folder, that's the entry point of the entire application. So we're gonna create a new Java package. So we're gonna call it models or entity as you prefer. So models. We're gonna create app user.java. Okay, this is going to be our class, and we have to annotate this with the add import for checkout of this as entity. Okay, we need to declare also the package because we didn't com.specifically development else. Okay, so I'm a little bit confused because I switched up from the Italian layout to American layout, so I have to get some habit. So we have to define some basic attributes for the class. So we're going to define private long ID. Okay. Private string. Username. Private string password. And finally private role. Okay, we didn't have defined yet the role type. So into model we're gonna create a new Java package called enums, and into enums have to define the role. Okay, enum. Okay. For now, just to keep it simple, we're gonna create only user and admin roles. Okay, perfect. So now to import role from security models. Okay, that's it. Now we have to define the builder pattern. So with Lombok here comes in help, which is some more much useful annotations. With builder, then getters, we need getter, and setter. Okay, here we go. Then we need also to define a no args constructor and a all args constructor because Spring needs it. Finally, because we are working with Spring Security, we need to implement some other methods in order to work with the user detail compatibility. So we have to implement the user details class, and as the ID tells us, we have to implement all abstract methods. So get authorities. So we're gonna replace this code. I'm gonna return a list of new simple the authority with the role.get. name. Sorry, dot name because it's an enum init. Because it's an enum, so we need to get the name. Okay. Finally, we need to annotate our attributes, so Springs recognizes them. So at ID generated value with a strategy of generation type auto. Okay. We have to insert also the ID annotation for Jakarta Persistence. Okay. Finally, we need to tell Spring that this attribute is enumerated with the enumeration type of a string because it's a string. Okay. Once we have defined our base user model, app user model, we need to define another crucial component that is our repository. So we want to create repository. Repositories, we want to define app user repository. This is not a class, but this is an interface that extends the JPA repository with app, where app user is the object, is the key of is the object, and a long type object is the key, because the ID is the key to find the object. So into our interface we need to define some a simple extra method. So public, there's gonna be returned an optional type. So maybe we should create, maybe we have, or whether we have not a user, because you can find it or you cannot find it. So optional app user, find by username, find by username with string username. This exists. Sorry, I have to do this. Perfect. I have also to import the optional. Work for me. Okay, we created also the JPA repository. I don't need to annotate this. Okay, now we have created an app user object and a repository interface to manage the user on the database, but we didn't configure anything about the database. So because we are working with a small project and we want to take it to keep it local, we want to use an HTTP.
A few moments later.
Sure. Okay, I've started my application. I've fixed it. So let's go on into our localhost. 8080 underscore login. So we have to try. Sorry. As you can see, I didn't have to find any kind of configuration, but the database works fine, so we leave it. Okay, now we have to configure the authentication process. So we have to create a new package called configuration. Here we can store all the configuration files. So to create security, config.java. Okay, here we go. We're gonna create a configuration. Okay, then we have to create stop this, so get distracted. So enable web security. security. Okay, so here we go. We're going to create the first bin of our configuration. That is the most important and valuable one. That is the security filter chain. Okay, security filter chain. That's taking input, takes in input, and HTTP security place default object. This throws exception. Okay, so now we have to return the http.build method. So, okay, but before of that, I have to configure the parameters. So first of all, CSRF y dot. Okay, I pass the into a lambda function dot disable. Then I have to say I hate this because it's not clear at all. Now CSRF dot authorize HTTP request. Authorize. Okay, now into our authorize dot request matchers. So we have to create 3 endpoints. So the login endpoint, the public endpoint that is for all authenticated users with basic role user, and then we have the admin page that is for only admin users. Okay, much simpler than that doesn't exist. So we have to create a login. This is permit all, then request matchers. So have the more clear code idea here. Request matchers. So request matchers slash API slash public slash everything dot authenticated. Then request matchers slash API slash admin slash everything has any authority. So that's the admin, and this is for any request dot authenticated. Okay, that's it. Now finally we have to define the final point, that is for login customizer copy this and paste it. Dot for logout, write this customizer dot okay, that's it. We made it. Now we need other 2 bins. So we need the user to the service and the password encoder. So bin public service user service. Okay, he's gonna return lambda function. So translate input our username, because this needs takes an input a username and return our user object if it exists. So username, so we have to take an input our app user repository repo, return. First of all, we have to store our app user repo.find by username string username, but in the case we don't found it, so the optional object is null, or else row. I said it right, I don't know. Semicolon. So app user, I have to import the app user because it doesn't exist. Okay. Now I have to return a app user.builder, and we have to build our user. So username string username dot password string user dot get password, and role user dot get role. Finally, we have to create called the .build method, and we're done. So we have created also this. Now I have to now we need the last bin, that is our password encoder. So we return a generic password encoder for the type password encoder. So our password encoder is the simplest one, so we will return new decrypt password encoder. Okay, that's it. So now that I have configured all of this, we have to try if the configuration works well. So try to run the application. Okay, for now it doesn't show up any error, so password. That's it, I got it. But we haven't any controller now because we didn't define anything yet. So we have to define some basic controller so we can test our application more concretely. So we have to create a new folder called controllers. Okay, controllers, and into controller we have to define a new controller. So we're gonna create a public controller.java. This, I'm gonna say this is a REST controller because I don't return any kind of HTML source, but we have returned only text responses. Then we have request mapping, that is /API/public. Okay, that's it. And we have to create a basic get mapping at home. We have to delete all of this boilerplate code because we don't need it. have to return, hello user. Now let's copy this, and create a new file called admin controller.java, admin stuff. So select this, paste. Sorry, I didn't copy this because this is command B, not control C, and the keys are swapped on this keyboard, so I have to retake the habit. So public controller, I have to rename it as admin controller API/admin home hello, and I say admin user. Okay, hello admin. Okay, now we are ready to test it. The project is reloaded. So now we are logging in with the user, simple user, so API/public/home the user. But if we try to go to the protected root, so API admin home, we get 403 error because I'm not allowed. Now if I go on logout page, so I sign out, and then log in with admin password. Okay, this is not enough point, so we're going into /API/public/home. Okay, I got it because I can access this and admin on hello admin. So that's it. We created successfully a simple and basic authentication system. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry for the accent and for the time, because I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm starting, and that's it. Thank you for watching.